I turned 77 yesterday. 77 years old. That's not just a number. It's nearly 3 decades past what society casually calls a midlife crisis. And when you reach this point, when you've climbed the mountain and you're standing at the summit, you don't just look forward anymore, you look back. And as I look back at the mountain I've just climbed, I feel a responsibility to tell you something. Something honest. Something uncomfortable. Something that might hurt. Most of you are living as if you have unlimited time. You move through your days like there's an endless supply waiting for you. You treat your hours like they're cheap, like there's a bottomless account in the bank of life that you can keep withdrawing from forever. Sighs. I'm here to tell you that the bank is closing. No one told me that clearly enough when I was 25. No one grabbed me by the shoulders at 45, looked me dead in the eye, and forced me to confront what I'm about to tell you. If they had, maybe I would have saved myself years, decades of unnecessary struggle. I have compressed 77 years of victories, humiliations, failures, lessons, pride, and regret into 12 hard truths. If you listen, really listen, you could save yourself 40 years of pain. If you don't, you might end up sitting where I am one day, staring at the wall, wondering how it all passed so quickly. Lesson number 1. And it's the hardest one to accept. Nobody is coming to rescue you. We grow up believing there's a safety net. We assume someone will step in. Our parents, the government, a mentor, a lucky opportunity, a breakthrough moment. We quietly expect life to correct itself. It won't. If your life is chaotic, it's your chaos. If you're broke, that's your responsibility. If you're unhealthy, that fork was in your hand. It's uncomfortable to admit that. It's easier to blame the economy, to blame your boss, to blame your upbringing. But blame is a cage. Responsibility is freedom. Stop waiting for a hero. Become the hero. This is your life. Act accordingly. Now let me be clear. You cannot control everything. I learned that the hard way. You cannot control inflation. You cannot control who hires you. You cannot control if your spouse decides to leave. You cannot control the weather, the market, or fate. But there is one thing, one single powerful thing, you have absolute authority over: your response. Life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you react to it. Most men react emotionally. They get angry. They lash out. They complain. They play the victim. A mature man controls the lens. If you change the way you interpret events, the events themselves begin to shift in meaning. Perception shapes your reality. Adjust your lens, and your life adjusts with it. And that leads to the biggest lie you keep whispering to yourself. I'll start tomorrow. Tomorrow is a fantasy. Tomorrow is a story you tell yourself to avoid discomfort today. Tomorrow is a graveyard where dreams are quietly buried. You say you'll launch the business next month. You promise you'll start working out next week. You swear you'll fix your marriage soon. And then you don't. Every time you break a promise to yourself, something inside you weakens. You chip away at your own self-trust. You train your mind not to believe you. Discipline is not punishment. Discipline is liberation. You want to be in the top 10%? It has very little to do with intelligence. It has everything to do with consistency. It's about doing the boring, repetitive work when motivation is nowhere to be found. Wake up early, do the work, repeat. There is no hidden formula, no secret shortcut, just disciplined action over time. Now let's talk about the machine you live in, your body. I see young men treating their bodies like rental cars, processed food, no sleep, alcohol every weekend, endless scrolling at 2 a.m. You act like you're indestructible. At 25, I felt invincible too. At 77, my knees ache when the weather shifts. My back tightens every morning before I even step out of bed. And I would exchange every dollar in my bank account, every single one, to feel 25 again for just 1 hour. Health is a crown worn by the healthy that only the sick truly see. When you have it, you ignore it. When you lose it, it becomes priceless. You cannot repurchase your vitality once it's gone. Money won't negotiate with your spine. Wealth won't bargain with your heart. Put down the junk food. Pick up the weights. Go for the walk. Because if you refuse to make time for wellness now, you will eventually be forced to make time for illness later. Let's talk about money. People love to repeat the phrase, "Money doesn't buy happiness." That's often said by those who've never experienced financial pressure. Money alone won't guarantee joy, but lack of money creates stress, especially in relationships. I have witnessed more marriages crumble under financial strain than under betrayal. When bills stack up, tension builds. When debt lingers, resentment grows. Financial instability quietly erodes love. But here's the deeper truth. The best investment isn't a stock index. It isn't cryptocurrency. It isn't chasing trends. The greatest investment is you. Upgrade your skills. Strengthen your mind. Read relentlessly. Take courses. Build competence. You are the asset. When you become more valuable, opportunities multiply. When you develop yourself, income follows. Now here's one that still stings when I think about it. Your children. I worked 60 hours a week. I told myself it was for them. I believed providing material comfort equaled love. I bought the toys. I paid for the education. I covered the expenses. But I missed the dinners. I missed the games. I missed the small moments. Children don't crave your presence. They crave your presence. They won't remember the expensive device you bought in 2024, but they will remember that you were distracted when they wanted your attention. They will remember the empty seat at their performance. Don't trade your family for a career that would replace you within weeks of your departure. We're nearing the end, so listen carefully. It is never too late. I hear 30-year-olds claiming they're too old to pivot careers. I hear 40-year-olds insisting it's too late to get fit. That is nonsense. You have time, if you use it wisely. I'm 77, and if I had your age again, with what I now know, I would move with urgency. But here's the paradox. While it's never too late to start, time is still finite. You do not have forever. Stop postponing your dreams. Stop clinging to grudges. Stop waiting for ideal conditions. There is no perfect moment. The perfect moment is the one you're standing in. Take complete responsibility. Complaining changes nothing. Blaming your boss changes nothing. Wishing changes nothing. If you want a different life, you must build it. Brick by brick, habit by habit, choice by choice. Sometimes I look at an old photograph of myself at 25. I had thick hair, endless energy, big ambitions, but I lacked wisdom. Right now, you have the energy, and you have the wisdom I just handed you. You have both. Don't waste that advantage. Do not wait until you're 77 to realize you lived someone else's life. Do not sit in a quiet room decades from now, wondering why you hesitated. Start today. Start now. Stand up. Go do the work.